Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling an organ that's, well, truly the silent workhorse of the body, the liver. But it's one that modern life has really put under siege.
Yeah.
So our mission is to dig into the sources, explaining why it's so affected and, crucially, how we can support it.
Yeah, and what's really striking is this paradox. The liver is naturally built for self-cleaning, Amazing mechanisms to handle toxins, normal wear and tear.
Right.
But they just weren't designed for the constant bombardment we face now. Poor diet, environmental stuff, stress. It's just too much.
The system's overloaded.
Exactly. So we need to figure out, the best ways to actually help it cope.
And the big one, the thing we really want to hit before it's too late, is fatty liver disease. Steatosis hepatica.
Yeah.
It's not just managing a condition. It's about stopping long-term system-wide damage. Okay, so let's unpack that. When the liver starts getting overwhelmed, what's actually happening? Because the scary part is it's silent at first, right? No big warnings.
That's the insidious thing.
Yeah.
When fat builds up or it's struggling with toxins, its overall function just dips. It gets worse.
How so?
Well, it does hundreds of jobs, right? Metabolizing hormones, digestion, energy. All those things just start happening in, let's say, lesser quantity. They diminish.
So it's not like a switch flips off, it just gets weaker.
Precisely, which has these subtle but really wide-ranging effects everywhere else in the body.
And this is where it gets kind of counterintuitive, because the symptoms you might feel are things you'd probably never connect to your liver.
Exactly. Not jaundice, not the obvious stuff.
Right. We're talking about these like chronic background noises.
That's the disconnect. The sources point to things like chronic fatigue, which is huge, migraines or headaches, often on the right side.
Specific.
Yeah, or muscle tension, again, often on the right. Maybe some abdominal pain or nausea. And a really common one, trouble digesting, especially fatty meals.
Okay.
These are all whispers from the liver saying it's struggling.
If it's all so subtle, how long can this go on unnoticed? And what's the point of no return?
Well, the good news, the really good news, is that early damage, like a basic fatty liver, totally reversible.
Okay.
If you clean things up, get rid of the fat, reduce the toxins, the liver's incredibly resilient, it can bounce back.
Right.
But if it goes on for years, silently, that constant damage starts creating scar tissue, fibrosis.
Oh.
And that scarring doesn't go away. That's the tipping point. That leads to irreversible stuff like cirrhosis, where the liver's function is permanently shot.
We usually link serious liver problems straight to booze, don't we? Heavy drinking. But the sources paint a different picture, a huge health issue completely separate from alcohol.
Absolutely. The stats are, frankly, staggering. Around 25%, a quarter of the population, develops fatty liver or related metabolic issues just from poor diet and toxin buildup.
25%. Without alcohol being the driver.
Yep. Completely independent of it. This isn't just about, overdoing it on weekends. It's a metabolic crisis fueled by our modern industrialized food system.
We hear sugar is bad, but why do the sources pinpoint fructose? What makes it worse for the liver than, say, just too much glucose?
It's all about how the body handles the traffic. If you have excess glucose, your body has buffers. Right?
Okay.
Muscles can burn it, the brain uses it, or it gets stored neatly as glycogen in the liver.
Right.
Multiple options.
Exit routes.
Exactly. Fructose, though, especially the high fructose corn syrup and processed foods, it basically skips those checks and balances.
So it just floods the liver.
Pretty much. The body almost treats it like a toxin, forcing it to accumulate right there in the liver. That rapid, unregulated hit is what kicks off fatty liver disease. It's a metabolic trap.
That's a crucial distinction. Wow. Okay, beyond food, what about what we might be missing? Nutrient deficiencies.
Yes, definitely. Studies link liver issues to low levels of a couple of key things. First, methionine. It's an amino acid you need to make glutathione.
And glutathione is?
That's your body's master detoxifier, really essential. Second is choline, kind of in the B vitamin family. Choline is vital for getting fat out of organs, including the liver.
Huh. So you need specific nutrients that handle fat to get rid of fat buildup in the liver. Seems backward, but makes sense.
It does. And we need to stress, getting rid of visceral fat, that deep fat around the organs, liver included, is way more critical for health than the subcutaneous stuff, the fat under the skin.
Right, the cosmetic stuff.
Yeah. Methionine and choline are like the tools the liver needs for that internal deep clean.
Okay, so detoxification is huge. But the liver's also key for hormone balance, right?
Yeah.
What happens when it's not cleaning up those used hormones properly?
It's like the hormonal recycling center. Or maybe the disposal unit. Normally, it grabs hormones that have done their job, like extra cortisol after stress, or use sex hormones and clears them out.
And if it's sluggish,
They don't get cleared, they recirculate, build up. The liver can't process them effectively.
and the sources show this leads to real, noticeable problems, especially this estrogen dominance idea.
Precisely. In men, this buildup can mean higher estrogen relative to testosterone. That might show up as, well, fat accumulation in the chest area, lower libido.
Okay.
In women, it often leads to estrogenic dominance, more estrogen than progesterone. This isn't just about fat gain on hips and thighs, though it does that. More seriously, it ups the risk for pathologies in sexual organs, benign or malignant. Things like fibroadenomas, even breast cancer risk.
Wow, that's a direct line from poor liver function to potentially serious hormonal issues.
It's all interconnected. Poor hepatic processing has systemic consequences.
Okay, hormones are one thing. What about digestion? That's fundamental.
Absolutely. Let's talk bile. The liver makes bile continuously. It gets stored, then released to help digest fats. Break them down, emulsify them.
So less liver function.
Less bile production. Simple as that. And that means you're not breaking down or absorbing fats properly.
Which means even if you're eating super healthy fats, you might not be getting the benefit.
Tragically, yes. Less bile means less absorption of crucial fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, K, and essential fats like omega-3s.
You just don't absorb them.
You absorb much less. You could be taking expensive fish oil, but if your bile flow is weak because your liver's struggling, you're just not getting it into your system effectively.
That's huge for people on high-fat diets, like keto.
Huge. Or anyone who's had their gallbladder removed. They're already working with a compromised system for fat digestion. Bile flow is everything.
Right. This brings us squarely to the what do we do part.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of that fat, clear out toxins. What's the starting point, diet-wise?
Okay, foundation first. Hydration. Super important for flushing things out. And the golden rule, while you're trying to cleanse, don't add more junk.
Makes sense.
So lay off the alcohol, fried foods, processed sugars, at least for a while. Then, energy strategy. Lower your carb intake.
Why low carb specifically?
Because the liver burns easy carbs first. Glucose is its go-to fuel. If you reduce that supply, you force it to look for other fuel sources, like stored fat.
Got it. I also saw cruciferous vegetables mentioned specifically. Broccoli, cauliflower.
Yes, load up on those. They provide compounds that actively support the liver's detox pathways. Broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale. Great stuff.
But what if they cause digestive chaos, bloating?
Ah, good point. That's a key consideration. If they make you really bloated or uncomfortable, don't suffer through it. Switch to supplements that offer the same detox support compounds like DIM or sulforaphane. Get the benefit without the bloat.
Smart.
And keep up those foods rich in methionine and choline. We talked about egg yolks, good quality pasture-raised meats. They help eliminate fat and build that crucial glutathione.
Okay, diet changes make sense. Now, how does intermittent fasting, IF, fit into this? You mentioned forcing the liver to burn fat.
Right. The low-carb diet plus IF is a powerful combo. When you cut carbs and fast for, say, 12 hours or more, your body burns through its stored glycogen, mostly in the liver.
Runs out of easy fuel.
Exactly. Then it has to switch to burning fat. And here's the beautiful part. The body prioritizes burning visceral fat first.
The dangerous internal fat.
Yes. The fat in the liver gets used before the fat under your skin. So this combination directly targets and reduces that steatosis hepatica, the fatty liver itself. It forces the body to clean house from the inside out.
That's a really targeted approach. Now, speaking of internal issues, the sources mentioned liver health being important when dealing with things like parasites or candida. Why is that?
Yeah, this is a really important nuance. Sometimes parasites or candida can hide out in the bile duct, the little tube connecting the liver to the intestine.
Okay.
So you take medication or herbs to kill them off, but those substances get absorbed, go to the liver first to be metabolized.
And by the time they get back to the bile duct.
They might be less active or even inactive, the liver process them. So supporting liver function, increasing bile flow, that whole cleaning process, it actually helps make those deworming or anti-candida treatments more effective where the bugs are hiding.
That makes so much sense. Liver support is key for the treatment to even work properly there.
Right.
Okay, what if someone finds the diet and fasting changes really difficult to start? Are there supplements that can give the liver a direct boost?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes you need extra support. The sources highlight a few key ones. Silymarin, that's the active compound from milk thistle, very well studied for liver protection.
Okay.
You could also supplement directly with glutathione. Remember, that's the master detoxifier we want to support.
Got it.
And alpha-lipoic acid, or ALA, it's a potent antioxidant, really good at protecting liver cells from damage during detoxification. Think of it like resveratrol, but more targeted for hepatic detox support. And just to wrap up why this is also critical, let's touch on one last major function. Cholesterol elimination.
Ah, heart health link.
Big time. That excess bad cholesterol, LDL. The main way your body gets rid of it is through bile. It gets put into the bile, sent to the intestines, and then, excreted.
Out it goes.
Right, but if your liver is impaired or bile flow is sluggish, that exit route is blocked. Cholesterol builds up in the blood. So improving liver function, making sure bile flows well, that directly helps normalize cholesterol. It's fundamental.
It's just so clear, isn't it? Looking after your liver goes way beyond just skipping a drink. It's absolutely central for hormones, digestion, nutrient absorption, avoiding chronic disease, and for so many people, reversing fatty liver. It really does seem like a master regulator for how well and how quickly we age.
Couldn't agree more. It's systemic.
So here's a final thought. We're heading towards a future where, genetic insights, understanding our gut flora, maybe even knowing our individual bile production could define the perfect personalized diet. But looking at where you are right now, what's one small personal step you could take today, based on all this, to start supporting your own liver? Maybe it's linked to one of those subtle symptoms, the fatigue, that right-sided niggle. What's your first move?